questions.
You said earlier this week that you and Coach Whittingham are kind of two of the last defensive-minded coaches. I know there are others. But
There's others.
Right.
Coach Stoops and Coach Saban.
Right,
There's a lot of great ones.
But you kind of said that it's kind of a dying breed. There's more offensive coaches than there are defensive.
Yeah, I just, obviously, everybody considers themselves one or the other.
Right.
And I've done both in my career. But I am a defensive guy at heart, and what I mean is that I just, he has a lot of similarity to me because most of the head coaches are offensive-minded guys.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think guys are more head coaches these days are offensive-minded guys?
I think because people kind of, it's just like why do we run the offense we run? Because our fans like it, right? And that's why they do it. People like you to score points, and if you go to a booster club meeting, you usually don't ask about the extra point team or you don't ask about defense unless you don't have any. You know what I'm saying? And everybody wants to score points, and so I think that's a lot of it. But and there's a lot of some of my closest friends in coaching are offensive guys. Coach Malzahn, tremendous coach, and those guys he believes in defense too. But I'm a defensive-minded guy, and so Coach Whittingham reminds me a lot of myself, and when you grow up in coaching, you don't really associate with the offensive guys that much. I've made a point to, and that's helped me in hiring really good offensive guys, but only because I had to.
So generally the defensive-minded guys are a little bit smarter than the offensive guys.
Oh no! Just we have to work harder because we're not as smart, I guess. But no, I don't know. I don't know Kyle that well. I just have watched him. I watch how his players play. You got a program that just like our program. First thing I said when I walked in here, we're gonna play defense. And we work. That's been a major. That wasn't lip service. We've had a major focus to do that, and that's what I see in their program. And they take pride. You look and see how they get better every day. They're tough defensively. They do a heck of a job special teams as well. But they just got a kind of blue collar mentality. So that's what I see on film, and I think our teams are similar in that regard. I hope that. When people look at our program, they see the same thing.
You always give your team a lot of perspective. What are you saying to them this week?
You got to be hungry. We're at the top of the crest in the mountain. You can see it now, and there's one, obviously, like everybody says, you got to take the next one. But don't underestimate the other team. Here's another team that, they got a lot of heart, a lot of leadership. And you're going to, it comes down to whose will, and we talk a lot about our personal will. And playing Sun Devil football, smart, disciplined, tough. And so that's the perspective I gave them. This team is hungry that we're playing against, and we've got to be more hungry than them. And that's probably not proper English, is it? More hungry. Sound good though.
Sounds like a defensive guy.
Yeah, defensive guy.
Can you talk a little bit about Cherry and how he's kind of gotten to where he's making this contribution for you now?
Yeah, he's really developed tremendously. He's big, physical guy. A lot of people don't give us a lot of credit. We're big, physical guys. I mean, and I'll tell you what's happened too. Smallwood's playing his best football. And see, people think, and Smallwood played 75% of the game last week. We don't play every snap with that. And so I've really seen an increase in those guys. And Cherry's been a very, very steady, consistent force up there. Great young man. I mean, I told these guys every day, I love coaching these guys because they're smart, they listen, and it's been tough, because they didn't have much experience, but now they're getting where they can, execute some things, so we're excited about it. I think that's indicative of special teams and defense. Offensively, it's just all about us. People ask me the other day, does it matter if you change quarterbacks? Well, of course it does. You don't play something for 6 weeks. It takes you a little bit to get going. Also, it takes the other guys around you to adapt a little bit. So we just got to get our execution back and hitting on all cylinders. And I like where we're at as a team right now.
Does Utah losing their best wide receiver change what you're trying to do defensively at all?
No, they got about 3 or 4 really good wide receivers. And so I think that's, if you ask me what the strength of their offense is, hands down, it's Booker and their offensive line. They believe in him when to run the ball. But skill-wise, it's the receivers. Receivers are very, very talented. So, and I really hate that for Dre. I mean, he is Anderson. He is wow. I mean, he's a dynamic, explosive receiver. You hate to see that with a kid like that. And but man, I mean, he was a warrior. I mean, he's a guy that really impressed me last year. And